What are some of the keys that you need to have a good pitch?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been teaching. Pitching is how I made the jump from executive to consultant. Really, as I was speaking at a lot of these conferences across the country, um, as a as an executive, still taking all the pitches at the pitch fest, and I just keep seeing those same mistakes made time after time after time. And so I wanted to teach that class, which was called the No BS Guide to Pitching, which eventually kind of led to No Bull Script
Great
in
name.
some way.
Great name.
I can't take full credit for it. I can only take half credit for it. My first web developer actually came up with it when she asked, what do you want it to be about? I was like, I want it to really be my personality. And I teach a class called the No BS Guide to Pitching and the No BS Guide to Characters. And she was like, how about No Bull Script? And I went, oh, well, that's it.
Trademark.
Um,
Trademark.
um, but I started teaching that pitching class, and over time it has changed 100%. But for me, what I teach in pitching is the 5 C's and an H. Especially when you have your short pitch and you only have 2, 3, 5, 10 minutes to do your pitch. It's all about concentrating on the 5 C's. The first one being context. Where actually the first one is concept, what is your idea? The second one is context, which is to me, it's the template movies. It's in the vein of this and that. It's setting up the tone and the genre. It's setting up the context of why you're the person to write it. What is your connection to the story or a character? What is your connection or inspiration? That's going to be somewhat anecdotal maybe, but something personal that's going to connect us to you so that we know why you're the writer that was supposed to write this story. And as well as anything about you that we need to know, that's going to make you stand out. If you've won prestigious contests, if you've been published or produced before, if you've been optioned before, things that are going to make you stand out against the pack. So the context to your project and the context to you. Next is character, who we are going to follow, why, and I always have my clients and writers say this is, why this character, why now? If you can't answer those 2 questions, you probably haven't figured out a strong enough character base to get your plot moving or to make us invest in that character's story. What do they have to achieve? What do they have to overcome? Who's against them? What is their goal, but also what is their deeper, emotional need and want? And maybe a line of backstory, so we have some context to them, what their baseline is, so we know once that inciting incident happens, where their arc is going to take them. So the basics, half a dozen basics about your main character. And I was a judge at Austin Film Festival. I taught their pitch prep class for their competition for a few years and was a judge for their pitching comp for a few years. And you only get 90 seconds, and it's a tight 90 seconds. But every single pitch, if writers spent 20 more seconds on character, their pitch would be 50% better, because that is what's going to hook somebody. So that's character, concept, context, character, conflict. What is the especially external conflict that's going to drive the story? We probably got a little bit of the internal conflict in the character section. And then the 5th C is confidence, and just going in there knowing that they want to hear from you. You have something to say, and you are confident, your story backwards and forwards. You don't have to read off cue cards for 3 minutes. This is not your first time. And if it is your first time, you are faking it till you make it, so we don't know it's your first time.
Yep.
Just go in there and own the table, own the room, so that, you're not cocky, because we don't like cocky, but we do like confident in your story.